Certainly at this hour, maybe people were just starting to come to work here. It's a commercial area right off of Cortland Drive. It appears that it's the backside of that structure right there that is on fire. And that looks to me almost like an overhang of some type. Maybe there are vehicles underneath there. We just haven't really gotten an assessment from the fire department as to exactly what is burning inside. But you could tell it's going to be pretty difficult to get this fire out. As far as exposures are concerned, we'll come out of this shot a little bit. It appears that they probably will be able to contain it to just that one structure, if you will. We have little to no wind in the area, and it's relatively cool, so that will help things out. At this point in time, they're just trying to get another ladder truck in here so they can get more water on this. For the most part, it is a defensive stance that they've taken to try and put this fire out. We'll keep an eye on this. More than likely, the resources on scene will be able to knock it down. I don't see them sending more resources to this location, but it could take some time to put this fire out. They can be extremely difficult when you have what appears to be now, as you get a little better look, some type of pallets. If it's wood, it can burn for a long, long time. It's just a lot of fuel in there, and certainly looks to be the case at this point in time with all that black smoke pouring up from the structure. So it looks like firefighters will be able to contain it. You know, they like to get inside quickly if they can when a fire breaks out, just to make certain that no one was trapped. But in this case, that is not going to be possible. You can see how intensely this fire is burning. Now, that's a mason wall right there, and hopefully if it doesn't get too hot, it'll stop the fire from spreading to that other structure and that metal structure there you see on the left side of your screen. So at this point in time, water pressure being an issue, you could tell the hook and ladder is moving up, trying to get a little further down that little access road. So it looks like access is an issue as well. They're having a difficult time getting their resources into position to get as much water on this fire as they would like to. Once again, the fire broke out about 8 o'clock this morning. We don't know what caused it. No reports of injuries. That is good news. Looks like county firefighters are going to have a bit of a battle on their hands for a bit. We'll continue to stay overhead and monitor and give you some updates from time to time. But right now, it looks like this fire is still burning completely out of control. The concern is that portion of the flames that is coming out right next to that cinder block wall, and whether or not that's going to spread to the other structure or not. I don't see any evacuations yet. Of course, there are several surface streets in the area that are shut down. There's also a school right next door. If you open up out of your shot for a moment, Marcel, and pan to the right, it doesn't appear, well, it's hard to tell if the school is in session or not. We might be able to take the camera and peek down in there and get the name of the school. I do see some cars in the parking lot. It looks like it may be an elementary school. I don't believe it's a high school, but it could be. It's hard to tell. That could be a factor as far as the smoke pouring over the school. We'll try and get more information on that. For the most part, the smoke is going straight up into the air. We don't have much of a marine layer, if you will, or an inversion layer pushing the smoke down. So that is good. It's going up into the air and dissipating. And you can see it's a tough time for firefighters. They have to try and get around whatever that debris is and then get firefighters in there trying to assess exactly what they're dealing with and then get as much water on this as possible. Now, if we come out of the shot just a little bit, you can tell it looks a little bit better than it did a moment ago, but it really kind of looks like, even though we don't see as many flames, it looks like it's really going to erupt once again. These things are so difficult to gauge. It'll look like they're getting a knockdown sometimes. It'll look like it's a little better, and then all of a sudden you'll see it just erupt and take off. And it looks to me with the black smoke we still see pouring off this. That could be the case. So their intent right now, the strategy is to stop this fire from spreading to any other structures, and that structure there on the left is the only one that appears threatened at the moment. But we are seeing more black smoke. We'll give you a little bit more of a wide shot, give you some idea exactly where we're at. It's right off of Cortland Drive in Lynwood and Wright Road, and on the top of your screen, that is the, open up a little bit more, that is the 105 freeway. And on the bottom of your screen, open up a little wider if you would, Marcel. On the bottom of your screen, that is the 710. So if traffic is affected, a bit on the north 710 headed towards the 105 just because everyone's seeing the smoke, and a bit on the 105 westbound just crossing the 710 because people see the smoke and it looks like they may be slowing down just a bit. We don't see that smoke for the most part laying down too much, but there is a trailer park fairly close to this, and they're getting hit with a lot of smoke, some unhealthy air at the moment. So at this point in time, we're just keeping an eye on this. The good news is, I think, we don't have much wind today, we don't have much temperature, and firefighters have surrounded it. It looks like they're going to be able to contain it to this one structure. If there is a concern, though, it's the fact that access is such an issue. They'd love to get more water cannons up here, get some more hook and ladders, ladder trucks that you see there. In cases like this, a lot of cases we'll see 4 or 5 of those up, trying to get as much water on this as possible, but they're having problems with water pressure and access, so that's making it a little more difficult to get a knockdown and really to contain this blaze. But once again, we're in Lynwood. We'll keep an eye on this. No reported injuries. That is good news, but it looks like that entire structure that is on fire is going to be lost. We're trying to get some updates on what is actually burning inside, and the good news is no reported injuries, and the fact that we don't think this fire is going to spread to any other structures. But we'll keep this picture up. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll give you updates from time to time if things change. We're hoping to have a knockdown, not in the short term, but sometime soon. Hopefully they can get in there with more water and knock this fire down. Okay. All right, very good. Thanks. Fire Bah? Like Baja? Fire Bah, okay.
Another building that's inside the smoker stock that's not involved in the trying to get out of. So
Inside, oh, I see that building there.
talking about it. Yeah, third alarm now.
All right, copy that. Looks like they got another ladder truck up, so that's going to help. Must have got the water department to increase the water pressure, I guess. What time was the cut in, Michelle? 55. Cold open in 30 seconds. Have we been able to get a name of the business from the address at all? Okay. Hi, Avery. Oh, a minute. Okay, great. Back to Rachel. All right, very good. There we go. Finally get some more water on it, huh?
Yeah.
So far, they've been able to stop it from spreading to that structure.
Yeah, these guys in here, they're assholes.
Looks like it. Got to be rough. Cover that. 45 out. I'll give you a minute. Back to Rachel. Stand by. Copy that. Yeah, Rachel, County Fire's gone to a third alarm on this blaze now. Broke out just after 8 o'clock this morning. We believe it's a roofing company that is on fire right now. They've had some issues with water pressure, and that's one of the reasons they haven't been able to get as many ladder trucks up as they would like to and get as much heavy stream of water on this fire as possible. They've gone to a defensive stance. There's actually another structure inside. All that black smoke you see right there that they're trying to protect right now. They're trying to stop the fire from spreading to that structure. It's at 5400 Cortland in Lynwood, which is just next to the 105 and the 710 freeway. We don't have any wind in the area. That is certainly good news. We have no reports of how this fire started, and we have no reports, thank goodness, of no one being injured. It does appear that to be able to contain this fire to this structure alone, but from time to time, Rachel, it does erupt and really take off. Hopefully they can get more water on it and get this knocked down sometime soon. All right, copy. All right, thank you. Boy, whatever's burning in there is really cooking, huh?
Yeah.
I wonder if it looks like an overhang where maybe they parked vehicles. That's what I thought initially.
Yeah, it kind of looks like some.
Or they store, construction materials. If there's wood in there, it's going to burn for a while.
I'm surprised they're letting these guys get where they're at.
Yeah, they look like they're getting hit pretty hard. I guess I got a good look at it. There's nothing can burn their direction, but it'd be nice if they get some water on that southern flank.
Yeah, that ladder pipe that's going to go in operation. This right here.
Yep.
This guy, once he puts some water on it,
It's going to help a lot. Surprised they didn't put up a ladder truck on the other side, on the south side. Maybe they just can't get in there, though.
Yep. I'll call you back.
So if you are still with us online, LA County Fire really trying to battle a blaze that has grown quite a bit in the last 10 to 15 minutes. The fire was called out. They responded about 8 o'clock this morning. It's 5400 Cortland in Lynwood. LA County Fire just moments ago went to a third alarm, which means they sent more firefighters to the scene. They've had difficulty with water pressure, and you see that ladder truck just went up, the hook and ladder there with a heavy stream of water. That's certainly going to help, but it took a long time to get that into position and working, and it may have been not only because of access here, but because of the water pressure. We pull out of this shot. It's a pretty good-sized structure. There are two structures in there. There's one structure we could see a moment ago that was not on fire, and they're trying to protect that. And right now you can see another ladder truck up, but not much water pressure on that one. Hopefully that will increase. They've asked the water company to increase the pressure so they can get more water on this. But things are looking better right now. You see some white smoke coming off this. It does appear that cinder block wall right there stopped the fire from spreading to the other structure. We believe this may be a construction company or a roofing company. We're not exactly certain at this point in time, but we see a lot of pallets there on the bottom of your screen. Those look like roofing tiles. It does look like now, though, that they've got more water on this. They're starting to make some progress. So that is good news. No reported injuries at this time, and it's early, so we don't have anything in the way of a cause of this fire. But certainly it looks much better than it did a moment ago. I'll give you a wide shot because I mentioned this a moment ago. On the right side of your screen, that's Firefighters High School. And I don't think there'll be any evacuations or anything like that, but they probably keep the students off the field there because some of that smoke is laying down on the neighborhood. That's a 710 and the 105. It's affecting the drive a bit on the freeway, but I don't think you have to worry about that too much. Maybe the 710 north a little slow as drivers look at the smoke, and the 105 west a little slow, but it's not a drastic delay. It's not a huge delay on the freeway. We're going to have the surface street shut down here in Lynwood for some time off of Cortland. That's for certain as they overhaul the fire. But things are looking better. You see some forklifts are getting in there trying to move out some of the tiles there, help firefighters get access to that one area, so that's going to help. And then, of course, what's helping the most is just within the last 10 minutes, they've gotten 2 more ladder trucks up. They got that heavy stream of water on the fire, and I think that's really going to allow them to start to make some progress here and start to get a little bit of a handle on this. We don't know for certain if that other structure has caught fire at all, but you can see it now in our shot. They were trying to make certain that they saved that structure, and it looks like so far they've done a good job of that. Fire broke out about 8 o'clock this morning. This point in time, no reported injuries, and it's good to see a lot of white smoke pouring off the building. It wasn't too long ago we had heavy flames and black smoke coming off the structure, so it does really look like county firefighters are making a lot of progress. We'll stay overhead, keep you updated. We hope to have better news here soon and reports of a knockdown. You want to re-rack some of the footage from earlier, and I'll do a couple more reports here. And if you're just joining us, we're updating you on a pretty good-sized fire, we believe burning in a roofing company. This is at 5400 Cortland in Lynwood. Now, things look much better. LA County Fire went to a 3rd alarm. They're getting a lot of water on this structure right now. We want to show you some video when we arrived earlier this morning. And, boy, there was really a lot of concern that this fire could spread to other structures. You see that hook and ladder right there. There was an issue with water pressure and access. They really wanted to get that ladder truck up and get as much water on this fire as possible, but they had problem with the water pressure, had to ask the water company to increase the pressure, and then they had trouble with access. They had to move some of those pallets out of the way so they could actually get the fire truck down here and get the hook and ladder up. We'll come back out to our live shot. You can tell it looks much better. A lot of white smoke pouring off of this. Also, you've got more ladder trucks with a heavy stream of water on the fire. So hopefully they'll have a knockdown soon. This is in Lynwood. It's just to the north side of the 105 and to the west side of the 710. There's a high school next door. It's Firefighters High School. That's off to the right side of your screen. I doubt they would cancel classes or anything like that, but they may keep the students inside until some of the smoke dissipates. It's a pretty big plume of smoke. You can see it from Los Angeles. You can see it from Orange County. Certainly can see it from the South Bay. But the good news is it's mostly white smoke pouring off of the structure right now. Just 10 to 15 minutes ago, we certainly saw heavy black smoke coming off of the structure. So they are making progress. We don't have any reports of a knockdown or anything like that. There's still a battle on their hands here. It's still a volatile fire, and it could take off once again. But right now, it just looks so much better than it did a few moments ago. No information as to a cause, and fortunately, at this point in time, we don't have any indication that there are any injuries. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep you updated, but every moment that goes by, it seems to look a little better. It shouldn't be long before county firefighters give us a knockdown on this place. Did they shut down one of the water trucks?
No,
The big one in the smoke there? I don't see him.
yeah, and the one that's in the smoke, they shut down.
Yeah.
So they have two going right now.
No, there he is. He's shooting some water back in there. At least I could keep water on that other structure, I guess. Difficult to see now. Yeah, the forklifts are working hard trying to get those pallets out of there. Even if they are roofing tiles, they won't burn, but I guess they could be damaged. Okay, you can re-rack that video. I'll just do it again here in a moment.
Ready to go.
All right.
Actually video this time, not the truck going up.
Okay. Either way, that was fun.
Actually got fired.
All right, if you are just joining us online, we have a fairly big fire here burning in the Lynwood area. It started about 8 o'clock this morning. The address is 5400 Cortland. LA County Fire has gone to a third alarm, and boy, it really took off earlier this morning. A moment ago, we saw a lot of white smoke, but now it looks like it's flared back up again. They're having some difficulty with water pressure. Here's some of the video from earlier when we first arrived. You could tell it really erupted against that cinder block wall on the left side of your screen. There was a concern it would spread to that structure. They were able to stop that. They had to move out some of these pallets, and certainly things look a little better right now. We'll come back out to a live shot, but not a lot better. It's interesting, you know, we saw nothing but white smoke for about a 5-minute period, and then all of a sudden, on what would be the eastern side of the fire, next to that firefighter, it just started to erupt once again. And right now, that firefighter's checking that paneling right there, trying to see if any of that heat and possibly smoke is spread past that cinder block wall into that structure. It doesn't appear to be the case, but that's been burning extremely hot there for some time, and that could possibly happen. And that's one of the things they wanted to make sure did not happen. There's been issues with water pressure. We've only have a one hook and ladder truck up up right now, putting as much water on this as possible. That one. There's another one on the right side of your screen, and that one's been off and on from time to time. They've had to deal with the smoke, and access is an issue. They'd love to get that around to the other side, which is the south side of this, but they're having a difficult time doing so because of all the debris in the area. Like you can see, the forklifts are trying to get rid of these pallets of what we believe are roofing tiles as quickly as possible so firefighters can get in. So they still have a pretty big battle on their hands. We'll give you a little bit more of a wide shot here. And as I mentioned a moment ago, it looked like things were really looking good. And that's sort of the case with a lot of these fires. It starts to lay down a little bit. It looks like they're making some progress. And then fire will catch on some other substance and it'll start to take off. And that's what's happened in the last couple of moments. So we're going to keep an eye on this. It's in Lynwood. It's off of Cortland, which is to the north side of the 105 freeway and the west side of the 710. We can give you a bit of a wide shot and bring up SkyMap 7. And that sort of gives you an idea, some perspective of where this is at. It's at Cortland and Wright. That is Firebaugh School right there on the right side of the screen. It's a high school. I doubt they would think about canceling classes. There's no threat to that school at all, but there is a lot of smoke laying down over the campus, and that could be unhealthful air, so they probably have stopped with any outside activities for the moment. There is some smoke laying down over the residents here, but it's not too bad. There's not a marine layer or an inversion layer holding the smoke down. It is coming up into the air and dissipating rather well, so that is good news because we don't know exactly what is burning. We don't know if maybe some toxic chemicals in there that they use for construction. It did come back initially as a roofing company of some type, and you can see that firefighter, he feels confident to stand on that structure and to try and get some water on the blaze there. So that's good news. It doesn't look like the fire will spread to that other structure. There's actually two structures in there. You see that structure there, and since they arrived, they've been able to stop the fire from spreading to that structure. So that is great news, but it's a very smoky blaze, and because of that, it's been very difficult to get firefighters in, and it's also been difficult. You see the heavy stream of water just fired up once again. It's difficult with all that smoke, and the only area they could position that ladder truck to get the water to the exact spot they'd like to. But they are getting more water on this by the moment. More than likely, the water companies increased the water pressure, and they're trying to get this knocked down as quickly as possible. We don't have any cause yet. It's way early. Usually that takes some time to determine. Fortunately, though, we're not hearing about any injuries, so that is good news. We will keep an eye on this for you. We hope that sometime soon they'll have this knocked down. You've got some surface streets shut down here in Lynwood, but it's not really a major factor for traffic. It's in an industrial area for the most part. It is next to that high school, but to the east of that, it's just industrial, and then it's a freeway. No wind, firefighters on scene. Hopefully we'll start to get more containment here. We'll get some sort of idea later on how it started, and we'll get to that overhaul phase once they have a knockdown. But they still have a battle on their hands right now. You see a little fire just broke out there. Is that on the other side of the wall next to those pallets right in there? Yeah, so that's a concern if it spreads towards those pallets. You can see what they're dealing with. There's a lot of debris firefighters have to try and get through before they can get into that area that really has erupted, and that has made things extremely difficult to get access. So I'm not certain exactly what that is. It looks like some sort of manufacturing equipment. It's pallets of some type. And there's a little bit of that flame that has broke out next to that other structure. So even though it looked like moments ago they were making some progress, right now when we really take a closer look, it appears they still have a major battle on their hands to stop this fire from spreading to the other structure on the right there. And just because we see little spot fires that are breaking out along that fence line, the pallet company is helping out, that whatever that company is, the company is helping out the firefighters, but trying to get those pallets out of the way. We've been seeing the trucks come in and out, the forklifts grab the pallets as quickly as possible and try and make a pathway for the firefighters. So it is still quite a battle. We do see a little more white smoke come from time to time, but there's enough black smoke to concern us that it's still burning pretty intently inside that structure. It appears to be a metal top surrounded by cinder block. Hopefully firefighters once again are going to knock down on this soon. I just wrapped it up pretty much. All right, copy.